Thank you, Guruji. From what I've understood is that this is fundamentally a competency and capability building program. And I think this is one of the most vital requirements for our children today. But my add-on question to you is that today there are a lot of people offering a lot of different coaching programs. There is for studies and stuff like so. So how different is this program from all the different coaching centers and tuitions and everything that these kids are already subjected to?
Yes. Coaching is fundamentally information oriented program. You have to understand the difference between coaching, training and education. Education and coaching are in today's world context similar in nature. But training is fundamentally different. Coaching and education, if you see, what happens is you send the child to the school or adult, college, and they are bombarded with information. And fundamentally, there are three types of students. Take for example, small children. They go to mathematics class. And some children, the moment mathematics class gets started, their mind switches off. They don't get it. First kind of students, they don't get mathematics. Second, they get mathematics, they don't really like it, but they understand it, they solve it, and they get 50, 60, 70. Mediocre students. Now what happens is, the society or the teachers or the coaching people, they try to bombard them with extra practice. They believe the old saying, practice makes man perfect. So they keep making them do it more and more and more, and that results in further stress because they are not actually excited by what they are doing. There are third category of students who absolutely excel it. The moment mathematics class begins, their mind is excited, fired up, and they are able to perform, excel, and enjoy that. They want to go on and on and on doing mathematics, and they just forget time. Now, for the first category and the second category, for the third category, if you teach them more mathematics, they enjoy more, so they go more. You teach them more, you don't have to send them to coaching. But then first category and second category, what happens? First category, they don't get it. So 2 plus 2 equals 4, school education gives them. They don't get it. They send to coaching. And there in a different way, they try to explain 2 plus 2 equals 4. They don't get it. And they get aversion and frustration towards it. And then the coaching or the people say, you don't get it. Why don't you get it? And the more people say, you don't get it, they realize the fact that they don't get it and it is not their cup of tea. And that develops an enormous stress, rejection, revolt in the children. And that they show it in the low self-worth and low self-esteem, and they become dull students. And they not only become dull in mathematics now, they get dull elsewhere. They show that depression, frustration, irritation in various aspects of their life. And then we call them as, naughty children. There is a second category, they get it, but then because they are made to practice it repeatedly, nobody is satisfied with 50, 60, 70. So they are put into coaching, and then the coaching people again put them into practice and practice and practice. This creates an enormous amount of stress. And that stress, that is the reason why these days children, they get more distracted and they feel more enjoyment in a video game, they feel more enjoyment in doing another stuff than education. But if you see how much of concentration and focus, awareness is required to play a video game. These days video games are designed in such a fashion that you are one person, you go into a city of thieves, everybody is trying to hit you, you are the hero, you have to kill everybody and come out victorious. So you have to be so very attentive and aware all through that city, going there and killing or catching hold of so many thieves, and then finally getting the stuff that out of that city. You have to be very, very attentive. And people, children are able to focus there with a lot of attention, awareness for a lot of time. But the same children, they feel exhilarated when they do that video game, and the same children, when they're asked to focus on a subject, their attention span, when they are learning these days, it is decreasing. Even the world over, scientists, everybody, educators, coaching people, everybody accept this. Their children ability to learn, perceive, the span, attention span is decreasing very rapidly. Earlier it used to be half an hour, 45 minutes. Now these days it is 15 minutes and most cases 8 minutes. So they can't concentrate more in learning, and the burst of their learning time is only 8 minutes. After 8 minutes their mind switches off. But when they play video game, they can play a video game with a lot of attention, awareness and focus for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 50 minutes. Why is that so? Because we have to understand, my brain switches off. I have no problem with the mind. When first case, student, I go into mathematics class, my brain switches off. And my brain switches off, software is able to learn, mind is able to learn, but because hardware is switched off, what good? You have the network, but you don't have the battery, the phone is switched off. Even if you have the best available, even if you stand just beside the cell phone tower also, your phone practically is useless. Because of the hardware, brain has to tune. Children in the growing ages, the brain is not, for some people, not tuned properly. Now, this is not a weakness or a disease. A horse that is failing in one race might be running in another race. If I say, a horse and a tiger or a lion or a cheetah, which will run fast? Horse. No. Cheetah. Yes or no? But there are no cheetah races. There are no cheetah races. There are no lion races. There are no tiger races. There are no, not because they are, wild animals. Just because they don't run on instruction. They run on their own decision. Horses, mules, and there are other animals which also run faster. Why don't we have dog races? Why don't we have? Because horses are friendly, amenable to our human culture. So when they are amenable, when we ask them to run, they adjust and they run. Rest of the animals don't adjust. In the same fashion, there are horses. You have to understand example here. In children, they are like horses. They understand, parents require this. Coach people require this. Everybody wants attention, appreciation. So I want attention and appreciation from these people. I get good marks, they appreciate and give me attention, so I will do it. Horses. And there will be lions. They are absolutely beautiful. They are in their own right kings. Lions. But they do what they are supposed to do. So everybody has their own cup of tea and everybody excel in their own field. But what happens is, these days we as a society want a full platter. Nobody wants a la carte these days. Everybody wants a buffet. If it's not enough, if you are exceptionally good in one aspect of your life, you have to be a holistic society and terms accomplished human being. To be that society termed accomplished human being, you need to be good in various fields. You need to be exceptionally good in some knowledgeable information facet. It's not enough if you can treat patients. You have to have a very good degree. Only then you will be able to do something. It's not enough if you have a lot of money. If you have a lot of money and if you don't have education, that's a problem. If you have education and if you don't have a lot of money, that's a problem. If you have money and education and if you don't excel in relationships. That's a problem. If you are good at relation, so you need to be very good in various aspects of life. So what happens is when a person is not good in one area, the entire pressure is and focus is put on that, and thereby entire focus, because it is on one aspect, the child quickly loses his self-worth and self uh, you know orientation. His confidence towards his own self depletes. As it depletes, he feels that maybe he is not worth it. But the truth is, to be a holistic gentleman or a holistic achiever in life, what you need to develop is first fundamentally develop something called as your neurocognitive skills. Once your nervous system and your mind is tuned, aligned, then automatically you find everything easy and you excel in it. Now I come to the training part. So education and coaching are similar. Coaching, if you understand, is making people practice, and that's what you coach. Coaching is not done to naive people. Education is done to people who are not aware of that subject. So education is the beginning concept where a naive person is taken and bombarded with information. You get it, you don't get it, you create 1, 2, 3 classes of people. People don't get it, people averagely get it, people who excel in it. People who excel in it don't need coaching. Next step. But people who are average and people who don't get it they need something called as coaching. That's what people feel. And they again repeatedly get them into practice. But most coaching centers also, you see, in a class of 100, teacher teaches the same way. 20% get it, 80% are the rest of the people. In that we have 40-40. People don't get it, people who averagely get it. Nobody trains, now the word trains an athlete. I want to run. I want to run. What do I have? A healthy body. And that's it. I don't know anything else. And then the trainer trains him in a specific way where his body, his system, his endurance, everything is developed using various techniques, methods, and he trains his muscles, he trains his body and his mind in such a way that he'll be able to excel in running. Like swimming training. To train you into swimming, there is one way. Push you into the water and you will struggle and finally learn swimming on your own. Old ways. New way, smooth way, and a perfect way is to just put you into a small shallow water and then teach you how to move your legs in a right way, and then over a period of time train you schematically step by step. What today people, children and adults, young adults are actually missing is proper training, understanding them and making them develop their faculties. Making them develop their faculties to naturally absorb information. We are living in an age of information. Today Google knows more than anybody. And if Google knows more than anybody, we slowly are running towards a situation or a condition where nobody needs us to give us a formal education. We can actually educate ourselves. Of course, coaching is still required, but education, one day, now earlier it was physical, thanks to this pandemic, now we are into digital training, digital education. Now what is happening is slowly people understand education, information is everywhere available. What is required, what is the need of the hour is a proper, schematically, progressively developed, designed training to help students naturally absorb information, process it and apply it in their life. So coachings are not competent enough, they are practicing people. Education, they're good, but then they only give information. But training This is where it comes. You need to, even if it is a diamond, you have to train it, polish it. Train it, polish it. I am assuming you understand the similarity.
Yes.
So, you need to take a diamond, polish it, only then the value of the diamond is enhanced. You have to train in a schematic way to enhance your perceptivity. And this Sukshma Dhrashta is specifically designed to enhance the perceptivity and make children naturally feel that. Nobody wants to fail. Nobody wants to be a mediocre student. Nobody really wants to be this. Nobody really wants to have low focus in their class. But today, if you see, most parents are having this. The only complaint from the school is child is not focusing. Child is actually focusing. If you give the same child who is not focusing in class, the same child, if he is given a video game or if he or she is made to swim, they enjoy swimming, so they swim and they have no focus problem in swimming. They have no focus problem in video games. They have no focus problem in any other creative art that they want to excel in. They have a problem only with respect to education because their young developing brains are not trained properly. Neurocognitive training is not given properly. We just pressurize children to do more. But then we don't understand. I don't get it, then how much ever I don't get it, how much ever I practice it, I don't get it. Even as an adult. Imagine there is an area or something that you don't get it. There I keep pressurizing you. Any amount of pressure I develop, I will become a villain and the process will become a villain to you. The same fashion, training is very important. I'm sure you understood.